This is brought to you by Odys Global. They are your source, my source, our source for age domains with strong branding and powerful backlinks. The featured domain for today is motorbikeEurope.com. And this one is checking in, at least the time I'm looking at it, at under $1,500. So this specific site was a passion project from a biker, a motorcyclist. We'll just call this person a biker. And they documented their biking tours around Europe. As you can imagine, the domain, I like this name. It's very clear what the site was about. So the motorbiking tours around Europe, and they reviewed routes, and basically it's like a travel kind of site. So if this happens to be something that you're into in general already, this is kind of a perfect passion project and site to build upon. It would be like if I had a site on homebrewing beer, for example, something I'm into, and I would just love creating content for it, taking pictures and just talking about it. This site was created back in 2010, 11 years old at this point in time. The domain rating is currently 20 as reported by Ahrefs. It was as high as 34. So a little bit of a drop off, but not as dramatic as we've seen some of the other domains that we've talked about. The domain authority is currently 29, and it's very brandable, of course, with both motorbike and Europe in the domain name. So I would probably treat this as a travel site, and in general, monetization would be through ads, because that would pull in what I believe, the most amount of traffic. You potentially would have a little bit of an issue recreating some of the content, but I think that could be doable. You also could strategically redirect some of these specific URLs if you had a site already in the travel niche, and maybe you wanted to add a silo about motorbike tours in Europe. So the other thing that you can do is probably refer people to services and other outfits. It could be like a hostel or a hotel or a place to stay. It could also be places that you might want to eat or visit and just do other side tours and excursions. So I think there's a lot of flexibility in that, and it's kind of an interesting time to cover travel. But I will say, when I took a look at over at the Wayback Machine at the webarchive.org, it looks fairly decent for a site of this age. I mean, it's not super modern looking, but overall, I don't think it looks super old. That is kind of surprising. Some of the sites that are even just a couple years old, they look like they're 80 years old or something like that. So let's hit some of the other metrics really quick here. There are 165 referring domains as reported by Ahrefs. 105 of those are do follow, and it actually has some pretty amazing links, like many of the sites over at Odys have. So we have wheretraveler.com, theenglishroom.biz, svmc.se, and danehostel.dk. So maybe not the household names of domains, but there are some big, pretty awesome links showing up to this site. So I appreciate Odys sponsoring this, and you can head over to Odys. You apply to get a login here, and you can get $100 into your account if you join using my affiliate link. If you do make a purchase, I would get a commission, which I greatly appreciate. And I'll leave it at that for today. So check out motorbike.europe or motorbikeeurope.com if you are interested in that specific niche. And thanks again to Odys.